Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here today with Mike Ehlers, who's Vice President Groups for ALG Vacations. Now, we were just down with ALG Vacations for their Ascend conference, which is a great conference. And a lot of the travel advisors learn a lot of different things about what ALG is doing today. And one of those big things involves group travel. And that's what Mike is obviously in charge of. And we're going to talk to him today about, what's going on in group travel, because I know, it's one of the most lucrative types of travel you can possibly sell. So it's really important that you understand how ALG approaches that. And you're going to find out about all that and more here on Insider Travel Report. Now, Mike, first of all, great to see you. As we were saying, we were talking about having a great time watching one of your great concerts there and the closing ones to see Run DMC, which was a big surprise. But we had a lot of fun there. But
we know how to throw a party.
You do.
Yes.
Every year you throw a great party. So if you're out there and you're a good big seller of ALG Vacations, you can qualify too to be part of this party. And who knows who's going to be down there next year? We'll see what happens. But one of the things that we talked about a lot and they learned a lot about was group travel. Now let's talk about, first of all, how has the group's business been at ALGV so far this year?
Sure.
Have you seen some growth in the business?
Yeah, we have. Honestly, it's probably the most exciting. I've been over groups for about 12 years, and this has been the best run that we've had in terms of group travel. So we were in 2022, our goal at the beginning of that year was try to get back to pre-pandemic levels. And in last year, we were actually able to exceed that. So we had our best year ever in groups in 2022. In 2023, we've absolutely blown that away. And so, groups are very strong. Many of the advisors that we work closely with are having record years, and it's going really well. So we're really, we were excited about last year, just enthralled about this year, and excited about what's going to come in the future.
Now, where are those groups going today? I know, your main destinations, but I mean, you've obviously sort of refocused on Europe for the first time in the last couple of years. And so are you getting groups to Europe as well as Mexico and the Caribbean?
Yeah, so certainly starting to see more and more demand for Europe. I would say the FIT side is seeing even more demand for Europe. Groups are starting to come in, and we're starting to get more requests. But we do continue to see a tremendous amount of group requests for Mexico and Caribbean. And with that, with so many new products and hotels opening, the destinations have really done a great job kind of refreshing themselves, even like new areas like Costa Mujeres and Tulum and things like that. So there continues to be a lot of new places to go and new areas to explore for groups in Mexico, Caribbean. So that's kind of where we're seeing the most demand, but certainly Europe and Hawaii and some of those other destinations, we're starting to see more and more interest in.
No, it's great. And I was lucky enough just before your conference to go see the new Impressions by Secrets, Isla Mujeres, which was really wonderful. And it's part of the Hyatt Inclusive Collection. And it's another, there seem to be more and more resorts opening all the time that are really suitable for groups, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And as hotels are opening, many times we're having meetings with them and working with them on how they can set up their group programs because they're looking to grow their groups. And so have a lot of great discussions with them to set themselves up to be a hotel that would be a great option for groups.
Now, what is a group today? I mean, people sometimes say, okay, group must be a huge group, but it can be a smaller group too, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, at ALGV, we're booking groups of all shapes and sizes. So most common group size is between like 25 and 35 rooms. But for many years, it was like common, hey, a group is 10 rooms or more. Well, we've seen hotels kind of tweak that. Then it could be, they start groups at 7 rooms or 5 rooms. So really, it depends upon the hotel and what they consider a group. I would say on average, it starts at 10 rooms, but there are some that will start it as a smaller group size. We're doing some groups greater than 100 rooms, and then we do some as few as 5 rooms. So really, groups of all shapes and sizes. I would say with most groups, again, we're in that 25 to 35 room range.
Yeah, and great. And the commission on that is pretty substantial if you're going to sell a big group. It's really one of the areas that is a very lucrative area for travel advisors to get into. Now, obviously, immediately after the pandemic, groups were very popular. People want to get together with their friends and their family and everything else. Have you seen any trend that would suggest that things are slowing down now that we've emerged from the pandemic?
Yeah, not quite yet. So our early trends for 2024 show continued growth, and we're even getting, a lot of groups for 2025 already. So maybe we're not growing quite as much percentage-wise that we did from 2022 to 2023, but we are still growing. And so that's really exciting. And I was just in the Dominican Republic last week for our Elite Diamond trip and had a lot of conversations with advisors, and they're doubling down on groups. They're looking at ways that they can continue to grow in the group space. And so I think it's a really exciting time. And those advisors that are really taking the time to learn about groups and try to grow their group business are having a tremendous amount of success.
So what do you attribute the popularity of group travel today, now that we've gotten past through the pandemic, sort of the reaction to it and people wanting to go away altogether? I mean, why do you think it's still popular? And obviously, why do you think the money part of it for travel advisors, absolutely, it's a very lucrative sale, but why is it also popular with travel advisors?
Sure. So I think for advisors, groups are a great way for them to grow their business. And so we always talk about that customer multiplier. So you have one customer that comes to you with a group. Now you have 20, 30, 40 new customers for you to engage with, that they're your customer for life, if you handle it the right way. And so for advisors, right, it's a great way to grow their business pretty quickly. But to your point that you said earlier, it's also a great way to earn a living. I mean, there's a great commission opportunity with one group, 5,000, 7,000, if you do a 100-room group, you can earn a lot more than that. Mm-hmm. And so there's a great, the base component of being able to earn a really good living focusing on groups, but then also a great way to continue to grow your customer database and who you're working with. And so we work with advisors a lot on how they can maximize each group opportunity so that they are truly engaging all those potential new customers and making sure that they do become a customer for life.
So, and I know you were doing sessions down at the conference at Ascend, just helping them learn how to sell groups and do that even more. Now, you and I go back a little ways, and we were through the whole formation of ALG Vacations as you merged in Travel Impressions and Apple Vacations and FunJet. And I do remember there were some challenges that the groups area faced, but I got to tell you, this year at Ascend, I heard nothing about that. It means like you kind of have figured out and fixed whatever challenges you had. And how did you do that? What did you do that because I'm a bit of a veteran here. I've gone to a lot of the Ascend or even the predecessor conferences. Mm-hmm. And when you were kind of trying to consolidate all these companies, it was a challenge. And so there was a lot of complaints about various operations. And now I tell you, I didn't hear one thing about it this year.
Well, that means a lot. So thank you for saying that. There was a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears that went into it. If I had to just say, what did we do? I think first and foremost, we focused on the people part. And so we wanted to make sure that on our side, we had the people part in great shape. So we completely looked at our team, made sure we had the right people in the right seat and people that were truly excited and energized around working with travel advisors that love groups. And so we focused on that first because we knew we could have the best technology, the best processes, the best products. But if you didn't have the people part right, it was never going to work. So that's kind of where we focused first. Right. And then from there, I got some advice once where it was listen to understand, not to respond.
Right.
And so it always sticks with me. And when you listen to advisors and they give you feedback on ways you can help grow with each other and different opportunities, but also when they give you constructive feedback and, hey, if it just worked like this, we'd be much more successful. And listening, to understand what they're saying and taking that feedback and continuing to improve how we were doing our processes, what technology we were going to invest in and things like that. I think all, those things together have really helped us turn it around and be the team that we are today. And I'm so proud of the team that I get to work with so many talented team members, and it gives me a lot of joy seeing and hearing comments like you mentioned, because there's been a lot of hard work that's gone into it, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to achieve.
Well, that's one thing. When your leader Ray Snitsky basically said, we're listening to advisors, and now you're not just listening, you're implementing, and you're reacting to it, and it's worked. And I got to tell you, having been to many of the meetings and during the merger years and putting consolidating every around, and there was always some kind of issue. But this year, you guys are running on all cylinders. I'm sure there's some challenges, and you probably know them,
Never.
but never, right?
Yeah, right.
But you didn't hear that this year. You didn't hear. You heard that things were going well, and it sounds like you've done a lot, and obviously there's still more to do. And one of the things there that at Ascend, Jackie Marks, who's your global head of trade brands at ALG Vacations,
my boss,
she alluded to some sort of new groups technology enhancements that are coming soon. Could you kind of preview for what you have now and what you're going to have?
Yeah, I will say that, I love so much what I do. And when I have my technology meetings, I just get so much energy and excitement. So we've been working on some really cool things in terms of group technology. The first one that's set to launch actually very soon, in talking to advisors and listening to their feedback, one of the biggest pain points was around collecting customer flight information and keeping it organized so that when they landed in the airport and we knew exactly what flight they were going to be on so that their transfer process was seamless. And that was always kind of a big pain point in collecting all that information. So we've developed some technology that's going to be in the group dashboard that easily allows advisors to add that flight information, and it uploads into the booking. It'll be automatically communicated to the DMC. It'll just take away a lot of that manual work that went into that and keeping track of whose flight information you have and whose you don't and all that stuff. So we're very excited about that. It's going to help clean up that process quite a bit. So again, that's launching later in a couple of weeks. It'll be fully out to the agency community. In addition to that, Q1 of next year. So we've always had custom event pages, and custom event pages are a place that customers can go to book in their group. But we're making a lot of enhancements to those custom event pages so that it makes it easier for an advisor to set one up. So there's going to be an agency portal that an advisor can go to, that they are able to create that custom event page. And with that, they're able to use custom images. There's going to be different content blocks and stuff where they're able to load a lot of information, their agency terms and conditions, deposit amount, final payment dates, all those kinds of things. So they're able to create this custom page that's unique to each group, send it to the customer can make bookings on it, and the agency will get full credit. They'll have full access to all those reservations, but they won't have to do all the work of making that booking.
That sounds great.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that one. That's going to launch Q1 of next year. We've made a lot of progress on it. We've been having some advisors test it. Things have been going very well. So those are the two biggest projects that we're working on right now. But I will say, we're to your point before on, things seem to be going well and we're investing in technology. There's no complacency. We are motivated and energized to continue to grow and become a better team and company for advisors to book with for many years to come.
No, it sounds like you keep innovating and you keep adding programs that are going to provide solutions to so your advisors do what they want to do, which is sell more groups. Absolutely. Now we go out to about 127,000 travel advisors today. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. That's all there are. No,
127,000 travel advisors.
Yeah. So we go out to them and they want to know. Some of them may not be as familiar with ALG Vacations. A lot of them obviously have a good set who work with you a lot. But anything else you want to tell those folks about selling groups with ALG Vacations?
Yeah. So I would just say we are here to help. We truly are. We're invested in it. We are not successful if you're not successful. We recently hired a dedicated group trainer who every day, all day, They work with travel advisors to help them grow their group business, make sure groups aren't scary to them, how to maximize the opportunity, how to read and write contracts. So we truly are someone that's committed and invested in helping you become successful in groups. And so I would say, reach out to us. You can go to algvacations.com. At the top banner, you can click on groups. You'll get a ton of information there. You can call our team at 844-986-1099. Our team will help you get started, or you can contact your ALGV business development manager. We're here to, help. They'll get you set up with, one of our leaders or even myself, and we'll help you get started with your groups.
Well, my final question was going to be what you just answered, which is the how do you get to contact you? And you gave the whole list there. And actually, that's one of the things that came out of this conference. It was there before, but your new website, algvacations.com, which has access to all the different brands and everything else that you sell, plus good information like this on selling groups and all your group programs. So this is the best way to go. And then if all else fails, talk to Mike. He can probably help you out.
Sure.
That's it. Absolutely. Well, Mike, I want to thank you for taking a little time with us to explore what's going on with selling groups. It's obviously a key area of business for a lot of the folks that watch us. And they're eager to sell more. And obviously, those people down there at Ascend this year at the conference down in Cancun were selling doing great business. And we look for more and more to come from ALG Vacations.
Thank you, James. I really appreciate the time. Thank you.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.